All right, let's do this. We're back home. We're back in Georgia. What's up? My name is AJ Writes Crypto. It is Tuesday, June 4th. July 4th is a month from today. Wow, time is flying. Crazy thing, July 4th weekend, I'm actually going to Buchanan, Michigan with my dad to see the Red Bud National. Got some passes from my guy Davey Coombs from Racer XMX Sports. Man, can't wait to go to the race, but I got to wait a month. Damn. But it's all right. Maybe we'll talk about crypto. Maybe we'll keep writing our book. Maybe we'll post some trades in a Telegram. Maybe we'll do some videos. I don't know. We'll figure something out, right? We'll figure it out. Yo, big shout out to everybody in the chat. I got WD40, Freddie Arnold, Brian Booty at Crypto Buffalo, Fortunate. That's a good name. Chauncey Peppertooth, my homie. Good to see everybody in the house. Shout out to all the mods. Everybody, you guys rock, man. WD40 spray me, bro. That's funny. You're hilarious, Brian. But yeah, man, I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about today, but I do just kind of want to, kind of talk about the past weekend. This past week was just absolutely like crazy. Like, I almost, if it wasn't for J-Chain's fighting, I don't even know if I was going to go to Consensus, to be honest with you, because we're going to Bitcoin Nashville, we're going to Rare Evo, I'm going to Decipher for Algorand in Barcelona, going to UFC 303 after that. My travel schedule this summer is pretty crazy, to be honest with you. But so we decided to go to Consensus, and I am so glad we went. We made a lot of really good connections. We nailed down some really good interviews. I interviewed Sunny Liu, the founder of VeChain. I interviewed Eric Piccini, the CEO of Swirlds Labs, which is Hedera HBAR. Did some interviews like that, which was really cool. Met my guy Marco in person. Shout out to Marco. What a homie, man. Can't wait to link up in Nashville. I met the president or the CEO of Ondo, Justin. He's going to be coming on the channel here. I have an interview on the channel coming with Gary Cardone. That is pretty big. Landed a connection with him, which is pretty cool. I did a video on Altcoin Daily. Have some other, things I'm not sure about cooking in the background. Wow. This is why you go to conferences. You never know whose hand you're going to shake. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know. And that's why you go there with an open mind. Just be positive and just like talk to everybody you see. Shake your hand. What's up? I'm AJ. What are you doing here? What are you working on? What are you building? That's what's up. That's what it's about. And like so many of the things that I've kind of worked on as I've kind of crawled up the hill here happened because I met someone at a conference and they know someone and blah, blah, blah. And then, the connection happens and you go. And that's like some pretty magical shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just excited about it. And like the whole conference, besides the social part, there's speakers all day long. Like I did a video and read off the speaker list I was watching that day, and damn straight, I watched every one of those speakers and had my notepad and voice recorded a lot of them. And just like, kind of let's learn, let's sit down, let's plug in. This is like a college class. Like you're sitting down, you're learning. I mean, I saw Brad Garlinghouse from XRP saying, XRP is definitely going to get an ETF. XRP to $3 trillion. Everyone's going to get an ETF. And then I was actually by myself, Hester Pierce from the SEC and the Summer woman from the CFTC. That was like, I was so excited to see them speak. And then they talked about nothing. They basically talked about talking. They were like, let's these are the topics we need to sit down and have roundtables about, and we'll talk about it. And I was like, well, isn't that what you're doing right now? Like, aren't you talking here? Like they talked about talking, and that was a bummer. But then Sergey Nazarov from Chainlink, what a boss, man. Chainlink, it's so hard to not be bullish on Chainlink. It really is. Like when it's funny because the main stage, is like the most amount of seats, and sometimes there isn't that many people at some of the people who speak. But like when Sergey everyone was there. I think RFK had more people than Sergey, but he's RFK. But other than those two, really filled out the crowd. Ryan Selkis from Masari. Big shout out to Ryan Selkis from Masari. I'm trying to get an interview with Ryan. Don't know if I think it might take a little while for me to pull that one off. But man, he did like a debate. That was really great. Just so many, like, you just learn so much. And basically my bit here is that, guys, if you're watching this show right now, you're live or you're watching it back later. If you don't have a conference on your calendar for this summer, you need to. You really need to. You consider going to Bitcoin Nashville. Consider going to Rare Evo in Vegas. Rare Evo is going to be a really big one. I think I'm going to do a giveaway at some point on the channel to take someone in a +1 to Rare Evo. I think Rare Evo. I'm even going to have a discount code in the description here. I think in the next day or two, I have to message them. And I have some pretty exciting news about Rare Evo. I can't say it yet, of course, but it's big. And I'm really excited to do that as well. So there's my background. Big shout out to my guy, Jay Chains. He fought his ass off in that fight. I am bummed that he lost, but hey, man, he only had 4 weeks to train. He gave it hell. He absolutely gave it hell. And that whole fight night was really surreal, to be honest. I mean, like, Joe Rogan was there. I took a picture with Tony Hinchcliffe, and Shane Gillis photobombed me. Man, like, that was wild. And then the blonde broker and Ashley Decant started bickering or whatever, and they're fighting each other in karate in IFC. I broke him up. Me and George breaking him up. Boy, like, what the hell? Man, I'm not gonna lie. This whole thing was crazy. Sweet. Oh, that's pretty cool. Nice. All right, just checking out the chat here. Now, don't say that, Brian. Ashley's a cool girl. She's cool. I don't know projects she's talked or not talked about. I don't know anything about that, but I've met her in person several times, and she's very cool. Very, very nice girl. GM Telegram link Desert. Just send me an email if you want to get in the Telegram. It's a private group. You can't get it unless I send it into you. I know that I'm behind on my emails. I have a lot of emails. I have not had time to go through them. So if you sent me an email for the Telegram group, I'm going through them today. Everyone will get extra time if you signed up, 5 days ago. I'm adding everybody in. Today's like my back to work day. Today I'm back to work. I have a lot of meetings today. I have a lot of time to do videos and write scripts and check my emails and everything. Everything has been, I got you, Desert. If you send everything, I got you. JASMY exploding. Nice. Love to see that. All right. So let's get into, the JASMY call. Chris Higgins in the chat says JASMY called spot on. Nice work. Yeah, man. I saw that one coming. I actually wanted to do that interview before that. I started talking about JASMY well before 2 cents, actually. I bought JASMY well before 2 cents. I wish I put my entire portfolio in it, because that thing, because like JASMY is like one of those gem picks. And this is why, because I know a lot of people that really play like the meme game, right? They really watch like bird's eye and follow me, like they're throwing darts all day, because like 1 in every 100 meme projects going to do something. And 9 times out of 10, if you're hearing a bunch of influencers talking about a meme coin, it's because they already bought it. You know what I mean? And it's a scary game to play. I personally don't play that game. You know why? Because I have an edge on the actual market. I can leverage trade top 100 crypto projects and be successful and successfully win trades. I have an, you know what I mean? So I don't need to gamble on meme coins to make money trading. And I think that the people that aren't actually good at traditional leverage trading will say, all right, well, I'm going to do the meme thing because I can't figure this out. And that's just as dangerous. You know what I mean? You can't really put a stop loss on a meme coin. You know what I mean? So, but, I'm talking the meme coins that are not established. I'm talking outside of the top 800. You know what I mean? So I generally have always liked to talk about top 100 crypto. And these are the projects that actually have utility. These are the projects that are going to change blockchain and the public perception of blockchain as we know it. These are the projects I target. And JASMY was one that I saw coming, that, heavily integrated in Japanese culture, really like an IoT, like decentralized privacy data type project. And I really kind of saw that coming. I had a really good friend who did the price prediction video with me talking about it. I mean, he made a lot of money on JASMY, and I wish I listened to him when he first told me about it. But, JASMY is one of those coins that when I started talking about it, it was already, in the top 200. It already had like a legit backing to it. And it's one of those coins that, could it go to 5 cents and go back to 3 cents? Is it going to be volatile? Yes, but I think it's going to excuse me, I think it's going to survive, and I think it's really going to thrive. I think JASMY isn't like a flash in the pan type meme coin it's not a meme coin at all. But, the meme coins will go really far and then disappear. JASMY's going really far, and it's going to stay and continue. That's my point here. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to take a quick look at that here pretty soon. If the Apple JASMY deal is legit, $1 plus, yeah, I saw that story. Actually, I think we talked about it during the last live stream of yeah, I think before we went, or did we talk about it on the members only stream Friday? I forget. All right, so I do kind of want to go over a couple things, like what to expect in June. This is my first proper live stream in June. It's June 4th, couple days late on this idea, but I still kind of wanted to talk about it, kind of go over the basics. Before I do that, everybody, make sure you smash like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, ring the bell for notifications. Going to have a bunch of videos coming your way this week. Going to have a lot of TA. Been doing a lot of TA lately, kind of building up. I did not post in the Telegram group yesterday, as I was, that was like my day off from the hectic mania of Austin consensus, and I was still like doing work, but I didn't post because I kind of wanted to build up, the next bit of lessons, the next couple live streams, the next couple videos. I don't like to fly by the seat of my pants. There are some times where I come in the office, I make the video that day, and that's it. But I really like to prepare and have things rolling. So yesterday was kind of my day to, really kind of get that done. So I'm not flying by the seat of my pants for the rest of the week. So you gotta do that sometimes. So do you hold PAL in private wallet? Yeah, a little bit. I sold it from my public wallet though, and that was a good call because I sold Avalanche, Sand, and PAL, and I took a $300 dent by doing that. And then I put the money in from those plus a couple extra $100 to put $800 altogether into JASMY, and then JASMY went to over 1,500 the next week. So that was a very good cycle, very good timing for that switch up. All right, so this is a nice website I like to look at called BitcoinMonthlyReturn.com, and this will show Bitcoin's monthly performance since the beginning every month. And, to be honest with you, I did think May was going to be a red month. I really did think May was going to be a red month, especially if you go, each month as it goes is an independent try. It's kind of like a roulette wheel. Like, just because it's red the past 3 times, like say you do 4 roulette wheel spins, right? If it's red 1, 2, 3, it doesn't mean the 4th roll has a less of a chance of being red or black. It's an independent bit. It's an independent trial. All right. So, each month is independent, regardless of, generally September's been red and October's been green. But, this year, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It could go any way. So we did kind of, say some things last like monthly overview video, like, 3 green months with the red April generally leads to a red May, which has happened in 2021, which, this year has felt a lot like 2021. In a lot of ways, to be honest, but May was green. So, now the kind of conversation is, how's June going to play out? Well, let's look at the history of June, from 2011. I think, these early days here, I don't really take into consideration that much, considering how small Bitcoin was at the time. I really don't. The numbers I think matter are kind of like 2018, even 2019 up. Those are the numbers I really take into consideration. Because, from before this, Bitcoin was so small, crypto was so small back here that it's hard to use that as an example, as kind of my point. So 19, we had 18, we had a red June, very 26% in 19, and then 3 red Junes followed by a green June last year. All right. And then as you can see, July was, only 4% down last year, but July 22, 20, and 21, very green Julys, even 18 and 17, very green Julys. So to be honest with you, when I look at the chart, I'm going to show you the Bitcoin chart in a little bit. And when you look at small time frame stuff, it looks bullish. But when you look at long time frame stuff, it looks scary. All right. And I will explain that as well. So just straight up prediction for June. I wouldn't be surprised if June ends up being a positive month, like a green month. But do I think it's going to be more than 10%? I'm not sure. I think I see a lot of this year being green almost across the board. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, say, September was red, because September's red a lot. But even if you take last year into consideration, right? We only had 3 red months overall last year. I wouldn't be surprised to see something similar in 24, especially with the ETF narratives warming up. Guys, Wall Street's not here to play the short game. Wall Street's not here to play the short game. Wall Street plays the long game. And now that Ethereum ETF is done, we have an election in November, and the numbers are going to get bolstered between here and then. They're probably going to start in interest slashes at some point leading up to the election. I think there's a lot of macro narratives that kind of point to a continuation of bearish sentiment for now. Okay. Even when that kind of reflects when you look at the stock market, but I will get to that in a second. All right. So that was kind of my little overview on this. I do, guys, want you to be aware of the major unlocks in June this month. I do just want you to be aware of the unlocks if you're holding any of these coins. There are smaller unlocks in AltLayer, Pixels, ApeCoin, but the larger unlocks are Arbitrum will unlock about 3% of its supply this month. And only 29% of Arbitrum is even unlocked right now, so it has a long way to go. Aptos, which is about 2.5% of its supply, will go out on June 12th. What's the actual date for Arbitrum? June 16th for Arbitrum, June 12th for Aptos. Starknet June 15th, which is about 5.6% of its supply. So keep an eye out for that one. Space ID, don't know much about that project, but I've actually heard a couple things about it. June 22nd. And then that's about 18% on that one. So certainly watch out for that one. Immutable X on June 14th, which is only 1.2%. Nothing crazy on IMX. I actually like IMX, and then there's a handful of smaller ones outside of that. So make sure you're aware of the unlocks. If you're holding any of those coins, I'm not saying run for the hills. I'm just saying to be aware of it. All right. Even like with Pyth, right? Pyth, decentralized Oracle on Solana, doubled its supply, and it does that once a year. It's called a cliff unlock. All right, and it actually lost a lot of its momentum leading up to that, but when it actually happened, not much happened, because what happened was it was in the above $1, and then it comes down below 50-40 cents in anticipation of the unlock. So when the unlock happened, I feel like a lot of people didn't sell because they know that it's been at $1. Let's not sell it here. Let's let it get back up. If I finally got my tokens that I waited so long to unlock, I'm not going to sell it down here at 40-50 cents. I'm going to sell it at $1. So I think that's why we didn't see a large sell-off from PYTA Pyth when the unlock happened, because it happened in anticipation of the unlock, and the people, once they got the unlock coins, now they're going to wait. That's what I think happened there. And I think that's kind of the true for a lot of projects, to be honest with you. There are some really bad tokenomic situations out there, like really bad tokenomic situations. All right, so this is pretty interesting. $3 trillion market cap for XRP. Journey mapped out as the Ripple CEO calls the XRP ETF inevitable. Imagine if XRP went to 3 trillion. I mean, at least it would finally be worth it. It would finally be worth it for, the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that have really held a stable coin for the past God knows how long. I hold a couple thousand in XRP, but I'm sorry, but like when things like Brett are going on, when things like Notcoin are going on, when things like JASMY are going on, I can't hold XRP. All 3 of those coins, Brett, Notcoin, JASMY, I've given to the YouTube and I've given to the Telegram group within the past 2 or 3 weeks, and all of them doubled, if not just about doubled, in 2 or 3 weeks. I have to say that because I don't like when people say things like, oh, AJ's only good call was the graph this year. AJ's only good call was H-bar and blah, blah, blah. And that's when I know, if I read those comments, I'm like, all right, well, you're not paying attention. you're not listening to what I'm saying. I've been the past 2-3 weeks. Actually, I'm going to pat myself on the back because Notcoin, Brett, and JASMY ripped. And I called all three of them before it happened. And I didn't call Turbo. I want to take credit for Turbo. I didn't call it. The chat did. My chat called Turbo. But nevertheless, if you came to this channel, you got the alpha. Even if you get it from me, even if you get it from the chat, I will give the chat complete credit for Turbo. Y'all called it for sure. Sometimes, everyone has bad calls. Because you can't be in crypto and have a perfect track record. I don't like if people pretend that they do. Like, that's crypto. That's crypto. But when you're on more than you're off, that's fine with me. And really, it almost comes down to, are you actually a winning trader? What's your actual ROI? You know what I mean? Are you actually making money? And I think that's like what really matters. And I feel like at the end of the day, I have nothing. Yeah, I have no qualms with that. You know what I mean? I'm completely confident. I would not buy Turbo at this point. It has absolutely ripped. Yeah, that's true. There was a no on JASMY a few months ago. And then I had a big conversation with my friend about it when JASMY was it was either just over or just under a penny. And I had a complete change of heart on JASMY at that point and then changed my tune on it. I started talking about it when it was still below 2 cents. And the price prediction video came out at 2 cents. So, you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to change your mind, man. I do appreciate you, Corey. I'll go rant. Fabio Friata says, I'll go rant or JASMY. Well, there is no such thing as I'll go rant. That's not a project. So I think I'd have to go with JASMY between I'll go rant and JASMY. Yeah, shout outs for that 8x on Turbo, bro. Good job. All right. So yeah, I was kind of talking about this story here really fast. Garlinghouse, I was there when he said it at a consensus, saying that Solana, XRP, and ADA ETFs are inevitable, which is funny because Kathy Wood at consensus, she said that maybe Solana. She thinks that they're only targeting the big ones, the top. She doesn't think that it's going to be I kind of think a basket of top 100 or a basket of top 50 like they do with normal ETFs. I would like to see Solana. If Solana happens, if the next crypto ETF will be Solana, I'm going to go ahead and say that. The next crypto ETF will be Solana. After that, then we can have the conversation. If XRP and Cardano enter the chat, then you have to say Avalanche. You almost have to say Dogecoin, Near, ICP, Filecoin. That's when those projects start to enter the fray. But it is. XRP has been a top 10 coin for 10 years. That's fine, but we're really talking about price performance. Where you're trying to, at the end of the day, people are trading, and I'm a trader, and we're trying to buy at 5 and sell at 10, not buy at 50 and stay at 50. So, just because something has maintained its value, don't get me wrong, Andy. I hold XRP. I have a couple $1,000s of it. I would love to see it happen. I like the community. I like what they're doing. I talked to a couple people at the XRP Ledger, booth at consensus. There seems to be a positive sentiment, but anyone that has bought XRP in the past couple years, it's not. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. You want to. People don't watch YouTube videos on. People don't watch crypto YouTube to be in stablecoins, and you do have to pivot from what you're saying. So you have to keep spinning, rolling with the times. That's my point. All right. So going through a couple stories here, I do kind of want to take a quick look at what is kind of moving around at the moment. Take a quick look at the gainers and losers. I know Ben is not live streaming today, so I'm probably going to go over a little bit because I do want to get into the charts as well. All right, past 24 hours, Caspa, is that accurate? Yeah, 19%. Holy shit. Shout out to Caspa, Ordy, JASMY. Let's go. Let's go. I bought more JASMY at 3.5 yesterday. It's already at 3.9. Notcoin, man. I gave up, dude. I did a whole bit about Notcoin in the Telegram group when it was like just under a penny, and that thing just kept going. I knew that it had a bad like rollout. Like when it first got introduced, it was really tough. But then I thought to myself, dude, no, this thing's attached to Toncoin, and Toncoin is like really strong. It's been really strong. It had an amazing run up. They haven't really stuck their neck out for another coin yet. Like Notcoin's the first, thing Toncoin's been attached to. I was like, no, dude, it might have a bad start, but Notcoin's going to rip. And I'm really glad I gave that one to the group. Brett is another one, man. That one's going to continue to do really well. I kind of look at Brett almost in the same light that I look at JASMY. Really good tokenomics situation. Circulating supply 9.91 out of a 9.99 max supply. It's basically all there already. Learned a little bit about Brett when Phemex actually asked me to do a tweet because they were doing a Brett airdrop on Phemex, and I did the post and no one cared. And then this thing pumped well over 100% after the tweet, man. And I get it, because a lot of times when people see a post like that, it's kind of just like, it's just another coin. Like, how do I know this one's gonna be the one? But I do tend to listen to when I see exchanges personally try to push a narrative. It's because they know something's coming, and my eyebrows always kind of go up when that type of conversation happens, because you're like, okay, there's something to this. I don't know what, but there's something to this, and it's probably going to rip. And that's exactly what happened with Brett. Isogenic shake. Let's go. All right, so let's go back here. I do want to take a quick look at the past 1 hour just to see, is there anything moving right now? 1 hour. Starknet, just talked about that one. Wow, Notcoin 2.5, Uniswap 2.7, Aptos 1.2. Yeah, everything's kind of moving along here pretty well. Well, Brett and JASMY have been absolutely ripping, so it makes sense that they're coming down a little bit at a time. Dogwif, very interesting. Did a chart setup on that one. When it's at that 316 level, it is always a tough coin to trade at 316, but anytime it moves away from 316, is when it gets a little bit predictable. So there's certainly that. They're certainly going to get into some charts here as well. There was another thing I wanted to look at, but I don't know if I lost the tab. Okay, I'm going to jump into my charts because I have so many to show you. I'm going to save a handful of them for the group, though, for sure. All right, so going to start here with WIF. Go into the 2 hour, and you see, all the markings on this chart. This is how often I trade this chart. I personally have been trading WIF a lot. I've made a shootload of money trading WIF here in the past, I don't even know how much time, man. I mean, the past couple months, really. This one has just been, it kind of reminds me of Phantom on like how, at least Phantom in 21, where like how much it moves. Like, let's look at like this from here to here, 7 days, 50%. And then from that to back all the way, look, 36% in the next 7 days. And then look here to here, the next 4 days, 59%. Do you see my point here? It moves 30 to 50% at a time, 60% in 10 days. Like, this thing is kind of a day trader's dream when you really kind of zoom out and appreciate like the nature of how this coin moves. And also kind of what it's building out right now. So the 316 level, which is this level right here, this level has come back into the picture with WIF so many times, man. This coin, it just always ends back up at 316. Like anytime, even if you kind of go back, let me click on like the 4 hour, like, let me pull this over, and 316 written really big right there. And look at it. Like if you go, here we are. So it started being a support resistance level, like, all the way back here. All right. And then like, so here it is at $1.89. All right. First move up 316. All right. And then here's 316 again right here. And look, it came all the way down to 219, 316. Comes back down to 215, 316. All right. Goes all the way up to 482. Guess where it comes back? And look at exactly where it bounced off of. 316. goes back to 434, 316. Like, do you see my point here? Like, anytime this coin deviates far away from 316, you just trade the direction that gets you back to it. Like, dude, like, do you think I shorted this double, lower high idea with a target of 316? Damn straight I did. Damn straight. Like that's easy pickings, man. Easy pickings. Anyway, so I actually talked about this in the members only live stream just the other day, and it was tough because it was at 316. So I'm like, I'm actually really not sure how to play this because it's at 316. Normally that's my direction, but you did kind of see, kind of the anchor wave, trigger wave kind of curving out here. It does make sense to me that it has popped up the way it has. Let me get rid of some of this extra. All right. My thought here was, like I was kind of thinking a bounce. I was hoping that it wasn't going to kind of do what it did, to be honest, because at the time, so right here is Monday. So here's Monday. All right. And at the time, where's Friday? Yeah, we were right in. No, that's not correct. That's not correct. Okay, yeah, we were right around here on Friday, and at the time I was actually kind of thinking short, to be honest with you. I still have some bearish thoughts in the back of my mind, especially when you look at the Bitcoin monthly, and we'll get to that in a minute. And to be fair, like, from Friday, it kind of wiggled up. It was kind of stuck. So what happened was it was stuck sandwiched between the 50 and the 200. And when price action gets sandwiched between the 50 and the 200, it becomes really tough to trade, because what it does, it just goes 50, 200, 50, 200, 50, 200. And now see how the range has gotten smaller as time has gone on. And this is kind of what causes, I bet if you pulled a Bollinger Band right here, it would be really close together. Let me pull the Bollinger Band. Yeah, and see how it's kind of pulling in here. This thing is going to squeeze here. And I'm kind of confused, to be honest with you, at this moment in time with this coin, because it's just it moves so fast that, like, when it look at this bounce. This is what I'm saying. Look at this bounce. 10% in 8 hours. In 8 hours. All right. My point here is, if you're going to trade with, you can't passively trade this coin. You have to really watch it. You have to really follow and really pay attention. Like when it came up here, not that long ago. When was this? May 29th. Obviously I'm thinking, okay, whiffs in the fours. We're coming back down to 316. All right. And the loss of this support resistance level, which I gave to the group, that was kind of my cue. All right, there's the short from there to 316, which happened, by the way, 15.8% in 3 days, happened fast. And then at that point, that's kind of when I've been confused. And this is kind of why I do things the way I do, because look, WIF can trade between 316 and 355 all day long. Like, am I really, really trying to go from here? I mean, that is a 12% range, which is a larger range than I usually give. That's fair. But the real move is going to happen when it breaks out of one of these ranges, which is why you need to have an alarm set on 355 and have an alarm set on 316. And we are looking at the 2-hour chart, by the way. All right. Sweet. So, boom, man, this is kind of one I've been holding for the group. This one has also sort of been all over the place, even if you kind of go off this support resistance level here, which is kind of below. And it's very rare when the support resistance level, normally when there's support resistance like this one, for instance, it kind of creates the range, how you can kind of see the range from there to there, like this range. Okay. But this most recent support resistance level at 0.132, this one kind of went through the heart of it. And I was actually surprised to see that. And that support resistance level wasn't the best range for me to give, to be completely honest, in that instance, because you can kind of see like how the peace out J Chains, like kind of how I've done ranges in the past and how it makes complete sense. Like between, I think that this range was actually kind of given because the real range is between 1, 2, 2, and 14. This is the real range. And I actually think that this was given in an instance where where we were actually down here. We've been here and we were here. And I was kind of saying, if you don't want to wait for the break of 1.4 and we're down here, you could go long from the break of 1.32. All right. And that's I kind of wanted to explain that range because there were questions about this specific one. And it's because I wanted, instead of going long from 1.4, which would have still been a 13% trade, I was saying go long from 1.3, the break of 1.3, which was a 20% trade instead of a 13% trade. And that was kind of like my bit there. Because a lot of times when these ranges come back into play, this one is an instance where I'm going to go ahead and delete this now. Could you? But here's the thing. If it breaks here, could you go long from that to back to this again? 6% trade? You could. But, that's kind of more of a scalp play. And I wanted that to be really aware. Because if you're taking the longer term trade, the break of 1.4 or the loss of 1.22, that's the bigger move. If you're trying to scalp, the break of 1.32 is the scalp move. So I do need to explain that in the instances when I give positions like that. I think it's second nature and I'll say it, but people don't really know what that means. So I did feel the need to explain that one. All right. The Grateful Dad. That's actually a really good name. Wyatt said, yo, AJ, I heard you mentioned Isogenics. Are you involved with the community at all? The people in Isogenics are a huge part of a crypto startup on the Win blockchain. Really? I didn't know that. All I know about Isogenics, Wyatt, is that my beautiful girlfriend Jada, her grandmother has been selling Isogenics for years. And I mean like for years, fam. And she makes me shakes sometimes. If I don't feel like eating a big breakfast, I'll just have a shake and go. And it's really good. I really like it. It's a good like meal replacement type thing. It's the spot. All right, let's keep going. JASMY, back to 4 cents. Let's go, fam. Let's go. And guys, I literally talked about this yesterday. I talked about this on the portfolio video that I gave you. It came out yesterday. In that video, I said, you guys, chart patterns work on smaller time frames. If there's a cup and handle on the daily chart, it means more than a cup and handle on the 12-minute. But a cup and handle on the 12-minute is still a cup and handle on the 12-minute. I said that. And look, there it is. Here's the measured move from the neckline to the bottom, from there to there. There's the measured move. And I said, you break this neckline here, you're going to get that move up. That's why I bought more JASMY yesterday. And look, past the measured move in 12 hours. Where's the current price right now? At the measured move. Dude, seriously, someone go clip that. And then do that thing 12 hours later. And then do the chart like wiggling up in the past 12 hours on fast forward mode. Because I called that. That was like one of my best calls. Like, watch this happen. 12 hours later, boom. Like, that was sick. I'm very proud of that one. And I'm actually even more proud of JASMY because now it put in a higher high. It's in an ascending, broadening channel. Ascending, broadening. It's ascending and broadening. All right. This is really good for when it goes up, but it's really bad for when it comes down because it could technically come all the way down to here and technically still be in an uptrend. You could take a dent and still technically be in an uptrend. We're talking 17% to the very bottom if it turned right around right now, which is very unlikely. But I do want you to be aware of that. This thing has flashed some bearish things down the street. When Austin from Altcoin Daily asked me, we're going to do Bitcoin TA, and then I want you to pick one altcoin to do TA on. The first thing that stepped in my mind was JASMY. It really was. And then I took a long look at the chart and it was just kind of bearish divergence. The volume profile looked bad. The dual band strength index on the 6 hour was bad. Like it had a lot of really negative confluence to the point I was almost like, do I sell some of my JASMY? And then I was just like, why don't you just mention it? Give them an honorable mention. and do a chart that you gel with better, do a chart that makes more sense, because I didn't want to like pull it out of my ass on Altcoin Daily. Like, I'm going to tell them what I see. I don't want to kind of like create a narrative. I want to, tell the truth of what I see it with my eyeballs. And that's certainly what I did. And I did give JASMY a shout out. And I said, I think it's going to keep going, even if it comes down in the short term. I think long term, it's a good pick. So that is fair. That is completely fair. Even this conditional range here was given to the Telegram group beforehand. And, this has been good for this move here, 8% in 90 minutes. And then the most recent move, 12% in 13 hours that I gave yesterday on my portfolio update with Jada. So I hope more of you nailed that trade, because I know I did. Shout out to anybody who saw that coming. So Jada's idea, buy in Chainlink, we actually kind of talked about this yesterday, is that, it did pop up. It did pop up pretty significant. I wish we bought it 2 weeks ago. I wish Jada bought it 2 weeks ago. Anyway, I still have, I think like 6,000 in Chainlink, 7,000 in Chainlink, nothing crazy. But it's kind of one of those things that, it has already such a large cap that I am worried about how far it can go. But I still think it's good it's going to keep going. But it's kind of a matter of how many X's can Chainlink put up? Like, what's gonna put up more X's, JASMY or Chainlink? Probably JASMY. That's my point. Chainlink has a very large market cap, but I completely understand why Jada bought it. Sergey did give a really good speech, a couple good speeches at Consensus, and CCIP narrative is really strong. All-time high around 51, which is a double and a half from its current price. I think Chainlink's going to continue further than that, to be honest with you. Like I said, it had a significant pump in the past 2 weeks. But if you kind of look at, support resistance here, and then it scalloped over, lost the 50 EMA, bounced off the 200 and continued. All right. That is what happened last time. And I think that's what's happening again, because it scalloped over, lost the 50 EMA, just like here, scalloped over, lost the 50 EMA, and then it touched the 200 EMA and continued. It touched support resistance and the 200, just like here, it touched support resistance and the 200, and is going to continue. That is kind of the thought there. All right. And this is big support resistance level for Chainlink. When you zoom out and look at where that level that it bounced off of, it goes all the way back here. And we're talking back to 2023 times here. And to see the 200 EMA line up to that level, and it bounced off of it multiple times, I would really be looking, even if you wanted to find like some scalp levels on Chainlink, I think it's going to go above local high, which is 1926. Even if you wanted to find some scalp levels from like these little bottoms here, like $18 flat, 1802, something like that, and maybe target along from the break of 18.2 to local high, which would be about a 6.7% move. I think that's a fair trade. I think that's a likely thing to happen. I would be watching that alarm. So, hey, don't say that about Blockchain Bonehead. You be nice to George. He's my friend. George is good to me. He's my boy. We have nothing but respect for George, man. He's been one of those guys that has actually had some like real life conversations with me. I've had a lot of conversations with the top people in crypto. I mean, I called Wendy O on Mother's Day. If I go to LA, I'm gonna reach out to the guys at Altcoin Daily, get dinner with them. When George and I link up, we've had some real conversations, and I got a lot of respect for George. So please take that out of the chat. I don't want anything like that. Nothing like that. No mean things about my friends, please. I understand you're a mod, and I understand you can have your own opinion, but I have a lot of respect for George, and I don't want that to be in the chat. Thank you. All right, so I want to have a conversation about VeChain. I really like VeChain. Above that, I really like Sunny. I really like the team, like Francesco, Carolina, Annie. They have a new CMO, Annie. She's hitting the ground running, by the way. I go to the UFC fights with them, working out some things. I want to make some content with them. I really like VeChain. And I really like VeChain because I like the project first. And I've always liked the project because I like what they're building. And what they're working on right now is VBetterDAO. For instance, this Cheers cup that I did a Cheers with Sonny Lou. I kept the cup. And VBetterDAO is they're incentivizing you to do the right thing. They're incentivizing you to do the right thing. There is, they have, you use these apps like Mugshot, for instance, and you, instead of drinking a paper cup and, wasting paper, wasting plastic, whatever, you take a picture of drinking your coffee in your cup and they send you tokens for doing the right thing. Sonny was upset that it cost him more to drive an electric car. Shouldn't he be rewarded for driving the electric car? Why does it cost me more to have clean energy for my electric at my house? Shouldn't I be rewarded for doing the right thing? And that's kind of the whole, angle with sustainability there. And I completely agree with it. But when it comes to the chart itself, do you have any opinions on Flare, Tristan Gage? Not really. Alt's barely moving. What charts are you looking at, man? Look at different charts. When it comes to the chart with VeChain, all right, there's a couple of things I want you guys to notice. First of all, I don't want to hear people say this thing doesn't move. Let's even go from the end of October in 23 to local high, 242% in 130 days. Damn. That is a move, guys. That is a move. Not to mention when I did the tweet about the bull cross on the daily chart. Let me get this out of the way. The bull cross on the daily chart. I did a tweet about that, and that actually, was the beginning. If you even went from the bull cross itself to the top, 146, that's not bad. Called that one. Pat on the back. But what I like about VeChain now, this is the 2023 high. Look at where the price is. Holding on to that level. Look how many times it bounced off of it. 1, 2, kind of here too. It is holding that level. I will be bummed if VeChain loses this level. I will be bummed. I don't think it will, though. Because if you look at price go down, anchor wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, bullish divergence on the 2 hour, big time bullish divergence on the 2 hour. All right. Also, we got to appreciate, didn't mean to draw that. We got to appreciate this little range that it's in here. All right. Even if you even go from this blue line is from further back in the chart. But even if you go from here, look at all these touches here. We got, it was the floor, it's the ceiling, it's the ceiling, it's the ceiling. All right. On the 2 hour, VeChain does definitely need to get above the 50. It needs to have that fight. It needs to beat the 200. It needs to do all that. But VeChain ultimately is ranging between its 2023 high at 0.0327 and this support resistance at 0.375. It's about a 14% range. It has spent the better part of 35 days inside of this 12% range. It has been a little boring. That's fair. That's fair to say. In terms of price action, it has been a little boring. I also want to remind you guys that no altcoin has the type of mainstream visibility that VeChain has. And people sleep, and to see this blue line is from this top here. I want to explain that. People sleep on the UFC partnership. They sleep on the UFC partnership. I don't know how. That's possible. All right. And this is another thing I want you to keep in mind. We know that it has pump-mentals. We know that it is capable of pumping 242% in a window of time. That's pretty legit. That's not a year. That's not even a third of a year. That's a move. All right. And I feel that it can, I really want to see it hold this level, but I feel that it can just keep going like that. I think that's going to happen. And why would I target a coin like VeChain instead of a coin like Near? Have I bought Near? Yes. Have I done very well on Near? Yes. But look at this. If we pull a Fibonacci from the low here and take it to the top, you will see that VeChain is just underneath the 0.5. All right. Just underneath that. So, I would say like what you would consider a strong coin would be, up here in this level, or even up here in this level, at the 236, something like that. But it is just below the 0.5. All right. And for it to get above that level, to be fair, it needs to get above 3.5 cents. It needs to get above 3.5 cents. And in terms of Fibonacci, the next target would be a 13% move to 3.9, just under 4 cents. All right. So that is like kind of the strength of where VeChain is. But now look at near. Look at near. Daily chart. Fibonacci pulled from the bottom. It is between the 236 and the top. It is what you'd call a stronger coin. A stronger coin. So let me what would you rather target? The coin that has more room to run? Or the coin that you already missed out completely? This thing pumped 765% in 158 days. It was $1.03 on October 12th. You feel me? You feel me? I feel like there is a point where you really need to take a long look at what already pumped. Could you still make money on near? Yes, you could. Of course you could. But you didn't get it at $1. That's my point. You can buy it at 7 to 8 all you want, but you missed that money making, real money bull market pump. You missed it. You missed it. So are you going to target strong coins like that you didn't buy at $1? Or are you going to target the coins that have fundamentals, that have a real utility, an ethical utility, that have a real team with real marketing? Boston Consultant Group, UFC, VBet, dude, they're pushing. They are pushing. And in terms of value, it's not considered a strong coin. You see my point? I think that people kind of got to zoom out and really take a long look at what has yet to pop. You don't want to chase the coin that already ran. You want to take a long look at what is yet to pop, that still has potential, that's untapped, that is still has a long way to go from this point. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm going to continue looking at. Man, I'm not saying to sell near. I'm keeping my near. I think near is going to do fine. But when you look at how far it already went, I'm not going to be buying as much near as I'm going to be buying other coins that are lower in terms of strength. That's my point. I'm not saying to sell it. I'm saying from here on out, the things you target, you want to target the things that still have room to run. All right. And this accumulation period has been a patient game for me. It has been a patient game. Jada and I have been doing these new portfolios for 15 weeks, $500 a week. I'm only up $1,000. She's down 1%. She's down $20. And her portfolio is VeChain, Algorand, the Graph, which she was up on and it came down, Hedera and Cardano, which is kind of like a straight down the middle portfolio. But then I did a straight down the middle portfolio from that I built last year that I'm going to go back and do the numbers on because it's up big time. A lot of the Algorand was bought at like 7 cents, 8 cents, stuff like that. And from when I bought those things, it was fine. But the coins that saved me in my new portfolio, Phantom, the Phemex token, JASMY. So there is a point where you have to be locked in and have conviction in the coins that you really believe in. And I believe in Hedera, Algorand, the Graph, VeChain. I know they're going to wake up, but you still need to be willing to say, you know what, like I need to redirect some of this to get into the coins that are moving. And that's where I get my plays like Notcoin, like Brett, like JASMY, that's what I'm saying. So there you go. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Target the market caps. That's for sure. That's for sure. XRP is yet to pop, but target the market caps. I like that. Target the market caps. Be patient, everyone. Guys, Warren Buffett said trading is the exchange of wealth from the impatient to the patient. Trading is the exchange of wealth from the inpatient to the patient. If you're the person moving your stop loss down, chasing the coins that already pumped, your exit liquidity. If you have conviction and say, you know what, I think these projects fundamentally are going to work out over time. Bitcoin is programmed to pump. I think we will see $150,000 Bitcoin for sure. For sure. 120K is my minimum, but I think 150,000 is incoming. I don't have a crystal ball. I haven't been to the future like some people pretend they have been. I don't know when exactly anything's going to happen, and neither does anyone else on the internet, despite what they tell you. But I do believe in crypto. I believe in adoption. I believe that people are waking up. So is Wall Street. So is the White House. So is everyone. And are you going to get rich or are you going to get wrecked? Do the right thing today. Have a nice rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace. Smash the likes.